Welcome to the Entertaining Diversion podcast number 2, where our intros are about as quick as a backstory for a Star Wars character.
Oh, he went there. I'm gonna piss a lot of people off.
Yeah, take it. Don't give a shit.
Like a polo.
Leave something in the comments, please. Please.
Please talk. Somebody comment. Anybody.
We don't care if it's negative, honestly.
First. Do you think we welcome negativity? Human contact.
No.
It's not wrong.
Well, as judging by all the Nintendo merchandise, specifically the bananas, we're going to have a short segment talking about the Switch today.
Short segment.
Which explains why Matthew is left.
He's got a spoon.
So, what are thoughts on the Nintendo Switch originally, and what did you take from the presentation?
Well, just to keep it somewhat, so we don't miss anything.
Topical.
Okay, so
Somewhat.
let's just start with what we thought prior to the presentation. I mean, I don't want to go into too much depth because we covered quite a bit about Nintendo and Switch stuff in the first podcast we did.
Mm-hmm.
So going in, I'll get that ball rolling. You know how much other people like that. So going into the presentation, I was excited. I did say it in the last one, but I didn't want to get my hopes up too much because Nintendo have a track record of just doing things weird. You know, and I think that based on just that little hype clip that they did, the little trailer, it was enough for me to go, oh, this looks awesome. So that's my impression of it. I mean, that's all we had to go by other than the rumours and everything else. But, you know, I was excited.
Yeah. I think, I was excited for the Switch. Watching the presentation, I was more excited. Obviously, okay, as I said to Matthew just before, there's nothing that's got me more excited about the Switch watching that presentation. It was pretty slow. Like, let's be honest. Like, that Switch, presentation, the only exciting thing were literally the people saying about it. Talking about you, Splatoon guy.
Oh,
God. It didn't get me more excited for the Switch, but it hasn't stopped the fact that I'm going to get a Switch because it is a cool-looking console, and I'm excited for it. Like, you know, give me my Zelda. I don't give a shit. I'll spend $500 on a Zelda game. I don't care.
There's one good game for launch. There's one game.
Yeah, one too Switch.
All right.
Enough to make me buy $700
All right, well,
worth of equipment.
let's just... I'm going by memory here a bit because, you know, we haven't got laptops and things.
Are you sure it's still okay with your old age?
You know. Oh, old joke. Yay. So, okay, they started off the presentation the production value of the presentation at the start was good, and it did lead me to believe that it was going to be an overall quite entertaining presentation.
Boy, were you mistaken.
That was, I have to admit, it was...
I haven't even watched it, and you guys explaining to me sounds...
It was downhill
boring
from
as
there.
shit.
Okay, the first flaw I found with the presentation,
Actually,
it shouldn't be about the presentation, but it did detract from it a bit. The translator was hopeless. It was like watching... it was like watching paint dry. And then when he put expression in, it was usually because he was so befuddled by what was going on the stage that he just couldn't translate.
Was it Splatoon guy that he did?
No. It was Suda. It was Suda that he just looked at him and went, "Who are you? What are you doing?" And he was like, "Yep, I'm Suda. Yep, I'm making a game." And it's like, oh my god.
The Switch, the translator for that segment of the switching, it was like that kind of thing where it's like you see somebody who, like, in the background, like when you're talking to somebody and you're trying to distract them from doing something else in the movie, and you'd be like, there's a video game coming out from the Nintendo, and you should buy it.
Well, to be fair, he didn't have much to say anyway.
True.
No.
Hey, we're thinking about making a game.
I mean,
we might come up with a name for it soon. We're talking about it.
It might feature this guy, kinda, you know, because he had the same trouble when he was translating for the Sega guy as well. Like, it was just like...
We like Nintendo.
It was really awkward.
We've made games for
I think the reason the translator struggled so much is because the guy from Sega, I can't remember his name, I'm sorry, but he was the coolest looking dude. He was dressed so suave. He looked like he was every, mob boss out of every video game I've ever seen in my goddamn life. Did you see that swagger style? It was
it the Sega guy
fresh.
or was it Suda? didn't think the Sega. No, but
No, I'm pretty sure it's
the Sega guy.
I'm pretty sure it's the Sega guy who was like, he was looking flat.
One of the two. One of the two was a little, yeah. So anyway, so the presentation was a bit lackluster.
If I had to translate for that.
But from the start, okay. So the first thing they decided to go with, let's just get the price, the release date, etc. out the way. So let's just talk about the release date.
Because those are always important to craze fans, right?
Yeah, but see, they've been saying March, and look, I'm glad they didn't suddenly go, look, we've had to delay it, because Nintendo's been known to do that too. But I'm shocked that it's at the start of March. I actually tended to think it was going to be late March. March the 3rd's pretty early. I don't think it will detract from anything, which is fine. I think it shocked quite a few people. But also, the price is probably one of my biggest gripes with it. It's higher than it probably should be.
$469.95. I'm fine with the price.
I have no prior knowledge of Nintendo,
I just think the price of everything that goes with it is expensive. $120 for the Joy-Cons. And
I think that it should be a bundle. Like, I'm on the same boat as everyone.
No.
Like, 1-2 Switch doesn't look like a game I'm going to go out and buy.
That would have been
They should have bundled 1-2 Switch with it like they did Nintendo Land for the Wii U.
Keep talking.
Oh, okay.
Oh, hey.
Oh, no. Monsieur, you just had a fly in your coffee.
Don't you hate it? You just sat there one day and the next thing you know, flies just all up in your shit.
See, the fly couldn't handle the price either. It decided it was easier just drowning itself. The price isn't detracting me from buying it. It's more so that it just seems the higher end of what the pricing should have been. I was anticipating 400, maybe like 429.95, but they're heading up towards 50. So. Yeah, I mean, I guess in saying that, it's coming with everything for it. It's not like we have to go out and, other than a game, obviously, but the hardware. And it's not a requirement like. The Wii U had the gamepad, and the gamepad wasn't everyone's cup of tea. So if you wanted to get a normal style controller, you had to go out and buy a normal style controller. But the way they've got the Joy-Cons functioning in that grip, it's more or less a normal controller. I mean, don't get me wrong, I've pre-ordered a Pro controller, but I could have been quite happy just playing with the standard setup.
How often do you get two controllers in the box? So you can play multiplayer out of the box. Is kind of cool.
Yeah, which is that's pretty sweet. Like, I mean, you come with not one, not two, but 3 ice cubes in each controller.
Interesting.
From somebody who's never
interesting. So basically,
hang on.
So basically,
I watched it at work without sound that bit. So I looked up and I'm like, what does this mean? He's holding a controller in his hand. Floating off to the side is a cup with an ice cube, and then another ice cube goes in there, and another ice cube goes in there, and then water starts pouring into it, and he's shaking the controller, and the glass is shaking. And I'm like,
Game of the year 2017 Ice Cube Simulator.
So wait. So when you go to the store and you go to buy it, and you're like, I want a Switch, please, and they go, shaken or stirred, sir? Is that what we're expecting? Is that what we're expecting? I hope they do. I really do.
So basically, the Joy-Con controllers contain.
It was terrible, Sean. Don't lie to me.
That is the best joke I've heard all day.
The concept behind the Joy-Cons is they've got HD rumble in them, which is basically a slightly more developed version of what they had as a rumble. I mean, Nintendo invented rumble.
So wait, this is the vibration.
So basically, if you're holding it, if as the water was pouring in the glass, you should feel like you're holding a cup, and when you pour something in the cup, you can feel the movement of the water and the ice cubes shaking it. So it was that concept. It was a weird way of doing it. And as Matt said, to watch it without any context other than just seeing it on the screen was like, what the fuck is going on?
I mean, on a serious note, I mean, that is like next level of terms of like, close to virtual reality, really, like effects.
Yeah.
On the other hand,
it's going to be borderline gimmicky.
On the other hand, it's like, who the hell buys a game console that they can feel like water rushing from a cup when they could just get a cup and pour water in it? I mean,
as you pick up your Joy-Con controllers, you can feel the money come out of your wallet.
I don't know if they did it in the presentation, but there's a mini game in 1-2 Switch where you're holding the controller in your hand, but in the game, like, it's meant to be that you're holding a box of marbles. and the idea is to guess how many marbles are in the box. And apparently you can feel it by moving the controller around, and you can actually feel marbles.
Yeah, no, they didn't show that in the
That's
presentation.
pretty exciting.
I'm wondering how the hell that works.
The other feature which I'm like, because there was the other thing where it had the sensor in front of it where it could like sense your hand movement or whatever hand movement you make.
Nobody's going to use that.
I was like, that was the one thing which I was like, okay, so they're making a WarioWare game then. Like, that's the only thing that I got from that.
Switch, yeah, looks like a WarioWare.
1-2 Switch basically is WarioWare.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, let's not call it a WarioWare game because we want it to sound
not familiar with the Nintendo, what is that?
WarioWare is like
WarioWare
a
is
whole
like-
heap of mini games, but they're gimmicky.
Weird mini games.
So like with the
random
Wii, right?
Yeah.
They utilized the Wiimote, and it had to be held in different ways and to do the activities there, whether it was drawing or balancing something, like shooting. A plate or shooting. Exactly. And each sort of iteration of that game is usually based on what the console is. So like in the Wii U version, it's very much about 2 screens and touch, and
The Wii U one was terrible. Like,
yeah, the Wii U, the best, without going into too much, ideally, it's here. There's 2 versions. The one on the DS is really good, and the one on the GameCube was really good. The Wii one was alright, the Wii U one was trash. So yeah, and it wouldn't surprise me if they bring out another WarioWare, because it's a good way to show the functionality of
This
something.
looks like WarioWare. So
Yeah.
that's basically
even
the thing.
graphically, it looked like WarioWare. Some of the mini games looked like they pulled straight out of WarioWare.
That's what I was saying. I was like, hey, let's make a WarioWare game, but not market it properly.
Exactly.
Like,
what a terrible name for a game.
So-
1-2 Switch.
yeah, like.
So after that, they covered the functionality things and the HD Rumble stuff.
Could have called it Switch Not Stirred.
and
Thank
then-
you for bringing this into my life.
I know.
Why are you not marketing for Nintendo?
They really did.
They haven't given me the call, I'm sorry.
Outside of that, they were talking about controller configurations and whatever else. But they really didn't cover the actual specs of the console itself. Like, we don't know much about the graphics
They didn't
capabilities.
talk about specs. They didn't show any games that we didn't already know were coming out for it.
I mean, the other thing that
It doesn't fill you with confidence, really, does it?
Just
it would have been nice to have something.
Nintendo aren't very smart.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't even announce Mario Kart until a trailer went up after the presentation ended.
Yeah, but it seemed like the hard drive, what the hard drive sizes is and how that's being handled wasn't sort of discussed. Once again, it was after the presentation. I think they put the wrong focus on what was in the presentation, and some of the stuff that was in the presentation could have been done as short videos after, the fact. Because Mario Kart, to me, whilst it's an amped up version of the Wii U one, is a console seller because people love Mario Kart. So I think that was a weird decision, but so they spoke about the capabilities of the hard drive. It's got 32 gigabyte standard, but apparently it's come out in the last couple of days that it's up to 2 terabyte. But like Matt pointed out today, we're not at that point that you can get those cards in that size. It's not far off, but I guess it's future proofing. It's a big step for them because they usually don't put any thought into how big the Wii U's got. Absolute minuscule size.
It was like 8 gig for the original console.
8 and then 32 was the
32
premium.
was the premium.
I don't know what the maximum was at
Yeah, you just chuck a hard drive in there, so I assume it supports like a 1 or 2 terabyte hard drive.
Yeah.
But obviously the Switch can't support a hard drive like that when it's meant to be a handheld. But down the track, they are adding hard drive support. So you could have hard drives plugged into the dock with games installed on there, and then you can use them.
I think a lot of people
on
are
the TV.
missing that point as well, which is like...
well, they said it's not going to be ready for launch. Like, it'll be an update they do down the track.
Most people, at the moment, they should be fine for the launch because there's not an awful lot of games coming out at launch.
Well, if you buy physical games, it's not going to matter. It's not like the PS4 where it's taking up hard drive space when you install them.
But I guess for the people who don't buy physical copies, it could become a bit of an issue early on, depending, because Zelda's 13 gigs, I think, is the download size roughly.
Yeah.
So and that's a large Nintendo game. Like, their games they're not usually that,
sizable,
big.
You can get 250 gig SD cards for if you're willing to spend a couple of $100.
Yeah.
64 gig ones are like you can get between 40 and 60, so I think that's more reasonable.
Yeah.
Much better than buying a card for the Vita. Like a 64 Vita card is $120.
My heart breaks every time I think of that. Like, I mean, let's be honest. I'm probably more likely to spend money on a Vita memory card than a Switch memory card, but that's like that's just me realistically.
So yeah, software, as Matt said, they really didn't cover anything new or that hadn't already been sort of more or less confirmed through rumours.
Companies don't tend to brag about it unless it's something new.
They're
probably using the latest.
The fact that they still had us like grabbed by the nuts with Zelda, I think that's.
It was an hour video and they showed 3 games, and then a trailer for Zelda. After the presentation ended, it led into
it was the cap at the end. I mean, in saying that, I did say to Matt after the presentation, after we watched it, it was like the stuff they had discussed, they had already announced or was confirmed and that, but there was little twists on things. Like, we thought it was going to be like a
Splatoon Deluxe.
Yeah, like they did with Mario Kart. It was just going to be like an amped up version of the Wii U, but it's actually Splatoon 2.
Which I don't need to go into the naming of that because it's literally Splatoon. There's literally the word 2 in the word Splatoon, and they call it Splatoon. I mean, I understand for marketing purposes, it'd be like, oh, have you got Splatoon? Do you mean Splatoon or do you mean Splatoon? But like, they didn't even market it as Splatoon 2 with the 2 in the name.
I'm not gonna lie, but I read that as Splatoon. I mean, it's
Splatoon.
Yeah, I was gonna say if you put it in there, unless it was the number 2. You would read it as Twoon.
Yeah.
But that's what I mean, like the actual
anyway?
number 2.
I get Splat. What is Toon?
They're toony characters, like cartoon
characters.
Yeah, but everything in video games.
No,
is
I know.
Every Nintendo game is toony. It's
My
not called
God,
Mario
it's almost
Toon.
like I'm actually cutting my hand off.
Zelda Toon.
So and that's cool.
My favourite one, Toon Fox.
So that was cool.
SpongeBob.
Super Mario Odyssey was another expected game, as in they would not have Mario. They'd have to have Mario.
Yeah, we knew we were going to see Mario Kart.
But it
We
was
just didn't know
it was
gonna
fucking
be
weird.
in like New York City.
Like it's Mario basically set in the real world.
Okay.
For the most part, there are still aspects of the other kind of But,
hey, it's me, Mario. No one cares.
Like they had a shot of like a typical New York street, and then like showing a manhole cover, and it starts rattling, and then Mario jumps out, and we're like, what the fuck?
And then people just come like, stuff him back in his hole, light him on fire, like, kill it with fire,
Don't get me wrong, the game looks interesting.
That's the thing. Like, I love the fact that in that trailer, like all the people which were walking around, they like looked at Mario and they're like, "What the fuck is that?"
I know, right?
Like, Jesus Christ, what is this doing in my universe?
I really hope it is like that, where it's literally Mario versus this new world. He's just coming from a new universe. He's like, we're here to conquer, baby. We're not here as the good guys anymore. This is Mario Odyssey, bitches.
Yeah, well, they make it seem like that city is just a random world. I don't know.
Yeah, they showed
exactly Mario, conqueror of worlds.
They showed a couple of like real world places, but they didn't make it seem like that was like the hub world.
The thing that I'm still really annoyed at how they marketed it, because they said, oh yeah, this is the first like open world Mario game since like Sunshine and 64, and I was like, well, Galaxy basically was exactly the same as what this game's doing.
Somebody put a picture up on Facebook today that showed, I don't know who said it, but he was like, we want to split them up by saying these Mario games start the course complete, so you get to the end of the level and it's like, ta-da. Whereas this one, there are no levels really. There are just heaps of open worlds collecting things.
Yeah,
because they compared Galaxy to World and Land, and people were like, why? They're not similar
Just
at
out
all.
of curiosity, what do plumbers like to collect?
Ass.
Yeah, Peach, we know ourselves. That's actually true though. Like, he's not actually gaining coins for any purpose other than like, man, I am fucking getting something out of
Get
this.
some ass for this.
To be fair though, like, Peach,
I don't know.
you serious, man?
So
He's more of a Palutena fan.
Okay, alright, I understand, but like, let's be honest, Peach is a fun piece of ass. Like, out of all the Nintendos, like,
Out of all the Nintendos.
I mean,
she's an
I mean, like,
they're not.
Wario.
I mean, like, if we're talking anything, like, the GameCube controller is like the thickest of the thick when it comes to booty, but like, Peach is right there.
Oh my lord.
Right, okay.
Whatever. Seems as though that I'm correct in this situation.
So,
Each to
Anyone
their
telling
own.
me I'm wrong.
and then obviously they spoke about Xenoblade 2,
Yeah.
which that looked alright. As we covered, Sega had some weird, the Switch exists moment. As did Suda, who goes, some random cartoony picture come up and goes,
the main character from No More Heroes.
But he kind of he's going to be in something someday. It's like, okay, good, alright, that's marvellous.
Considering all the developers they said are apparently working on games, it really doesn't seem like anybody started anything.
Yeah.
Like, Mario, a lot of people said the trailer looked really pretty. It had this weird, like...
It's early development, you can tell.
Well, apparently it's still coming out this year, though. Like, there was just this fuzziness over it.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like Mario looked really, really nice, but then like the worlds and stuff that he was in, it was like...
He looked really nice, but he didn't look the best we've seen him.
No, true.
I think he looked better in...
Maybe
Galaxy
it's a
2,
world.
I think he
Maybe
looked
they go
better
for
in
an alternative look and like
Smash
a world in
Bros.
which Mario sees the
Yeah.
world.
like the
Himself
realistic
perfect.
overall.
Yeah, that was cool.
The rest of the world imperfect.
Um,
He's the modern day narcissist.
What's the other one?
so then they also showed...
What? It's possible.
Has anyone got their phone on them?
Xenoverse didn't look very good either. Like, it looked...
I was like looking at it, I was like, cool, like, you know, another like generic Japanese game. I was like, cool, a Sky Whale, and I was like, it's Xenoblade. Alright.
that looked very much like Shulk.
I haven't played Xenoblade at all, so like I can't even have any review on it. But I was like, okay, you know, this is a Xenoblade game. Like that'll make Xenoblade fans happy. Like, apparently it was a good game, from what I've heard.
Yeah, well, I'm not sure what it's a sequel
I know
to.
none of these games that you're spouting out, so please go on.
Yeah, I've never played them.
I'm looking up the list of the confirmed games.
Well, going back to the developers thing, when you're like, there's heaps of developers, but there's not really anything being shown. Like, nobody started developing anything. I'm just kind of.
Is it kind of like one of those? Is it kind of like one of those writers' forum where like people are all like writers, but they haven't actually written anything?
I think it's more so like Nintendo just went around and they're like, hey, you want to make games for the Switch? Like, yeah, Nintendo, we'll make games for your console. And then they're like, they can't pick up the sarcasm at all, so they're like, yeah, all right, cool, we'll put you down on the list. Like, I didn't mean it.
Well, like even developers,
Shit, they've already written up the contracts.
Ones that committed to them a lot in the Wii U days, like even aren't doing much anymore. Like considering how much Ubisoft kept supporting them through to the end, like with Watch Dogs being the last one, they were like, oh yeah, we'll put Rayman Legends. Yeah, it came out a long time ago, and we'll scrape it back up off the sidewalk and.
So they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you a Rayman game. They're like, oh sweet, and they came up and they're like, oh, have you got a new Rayman game for us?
Like
new Rayman game, and then they just like shove Red Legends just like to the side.
The problem is though that releasing Rayman Legends, nobody's gonna buy that, and then Ubisoft is gonna go, well, that didn't sell, so we're not going to put anything else on the Switch. It's like, of course it didn't sell.
They're almost using it as
everybody already has
it.
It
was like was it a launch title for the PS4 and Xbox One?
No, it was a launch title for the Wii U. Yeah. And then they delayed it a little bit because they realized it wasn't going to sell well, so they delayed it to port it to PS4, maybe even PS3 and 360.
I'm pretty sure for PS3 and 360 had it, but I think it was the same time.
And then it again came to PS4, Xbox One, it came to Vita later on, and then... Yeah, just weird, like that.
Bad timing.
That would be the game they would do.
Yeah,
knowing it's not going to sell well, and then using that as a basis to probably not release much more.
Now that you've brought up about that, it's also the case with EA. EA had a bit of a showing, and the first thing they discussed was FIFA. They could have spoken about so many other things they could have put on that console, but they only spoke about FIFA.
Well, for FIFA fans,
sounds like
let's hope it's a new FIFA and it's not last year's or the years before's FIFA.
Yeah.
Because that'd be just as bad as what Ubisoft are doing with Rayman. And then Ubisoft are putting Steep on there.
Yeah.
A game that if people wanted, they would have bought already.
Yeah.
So it's like a very niche game.
All right,
so I can't wait to go on some snowboarding.
I've got the list here, and there are a few ones that sort of got covered a bit, so we can talk about them. But yeah, FIFA was one. Ultra Street Fighter 2, Super Mario Odyssey. Obviously, Skyrim was announced, but the problem with that is that
Skyrim will sell, I think. That's one of those few games, like Rayman Legends obviously isn't, but Skyrim, like, people just eat that shit up. So
yeah,
because
like
I mean, I look at it this way: Bethesda, because I wasn't sure and asked Matt, and Matt told me Bethesda hasn't put anything on a Nintendo console since the NES.
If they even did at all, I'm pretty sure they made an NES game.
And that's actually they did. No, it's only because I'm referencing something else. They I'm sure one of the Home Alone games was made by Bethesda.
I I just don't like the fact that like, when they're doing the presentation, they're like, "Oh, we're gonna cut Todd Howard from Bethesda," and then he's like, "Hey, you're gonna buy Skyrim again for like the 6th time, right? Please buy Skyrim again. You love Skyrim. Please buy Skyrim."
Before, so
Yeah, but in saying that, I agree with Matt. I think that's.
I wasn't one of those guys.
Yeah, but that's got a better.
Not at all, Curtis. You didn't buy the remaster.
That's got a better chance of selling, as Matt said, than Rayman. Like Skyrim.
But that's because that was a popular game.
Well,
Yeah.
Legends is good, but it's just really old and on everything. Like, the difference here is that Nintendo fans haven't played an Elder Scrolls game on the Nintendo console before.
Yeah.
So
It's a
that'll
positive
sell.
step.
And then if that sells, Fallout might come to the Switch.
Exactly.
That'll be the same thing.
So that's what I mean. It's a positive step.
Do you understand?
Unlike.
Alright, we're back after some technical difficulties.
Tucker did it.
Everything's A-OK and good to go.
Where did we leave off?
So okay, last thing we were talking about was Bethesda and Skyrim.
Yes. And we were saying about how 10 out of 10
A good move on their behalf, as opposed to what Ubisoft's doing with Rayman was the conversation. Because Skyrim will sell.
That just leads us to the greatest game, which was announced for the Switch.
Well,
we all forgot about.
Well, I was going through the list. It's not a very long
And
list.
we forgot about the 10 out of 10, the GOTY ARMS.
Yeah, you still haven't shown me that trailer for Arms.
Yeah, I should show you that. Like, to begin with, the announcement, I was like, this doesn't look very good. But then watching actual gameplay of people playing it, I'm like, it looks alright. It really depends on how much the game's going to cost.
The fact that it's got different characters and stuff, I think if it was just those two characters,
Ribbon
people
Girl.
would be like...
Ribbon Girl.
Looking forward to the Ribbon Girl amiibo.
Oh god. So yeah, that's kind
Made
of
with real ribbons.
It's just falling all over the place. It's just like an amiibo face.
I would buy that still because, like...
so then
Like, oh no, boys, she's come undone.
oh god. So they so before
Looks
that,
like she's all
so you
tied
had
up.
Skyrim, Splatoon 2, which we already spoke about, ARMS, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, which is coming out April 28th.
Yeah, at least the wait won't be too long.
Has Been Heroes, which according to this says March.
No,
No, that's not even. That's the game that guy was talking about. So Suda didn't even have an idea what the hell he was doing. It's not coming out in March.
right. Yeah.
He's ready for it coming.
Just Dance 2017, Snipper Clips, cut it out together. Apparently that is good. Yeah, and that's coming out in March. 1-2 Switch, which is like, as we've discussed, sort of kind of like Nintendo Land for Switch. Super Bomberman R, which from what I've seen, that looks really cool.
Yeah,
That looks,
Bomberman.
It's a Bomberman game, yeah. That's exactly what I was about to say.
It's gonna be good.
I'll skip the really obvious one. Arcade Archives. Don't even know what that is.
Just like ports of arcade games.
Okay.
But they do one.
I can never
every couple of
pronounce
weeks.
that word. That Disgaea?
Disgaea.
Disgaea?
5.
Yeah. Disgaea 5. Dragon Ball Xenoverse 2. Farming Simulator.
That'll be good.
Oh, yeah.
We'll finally buy it and do a multiplayer.
Stay tuned for that one.
You can farm while you're not on a farm. Or while
we
you're
could
on a
go
farm.
to a farm.
Fast.
That's what we'll do. We'll all be wearing overalls and like cowboy hats.
Oh boy. There be
Don't put that in the comments.
Fast
Fast RMX. I don't know what that is either. Do you know anything about that? Fast RMX.
Yeah, it's the sequel to Fast Racing Now.
Ah, right. Okay, well now I know what that is. Fire Emblem Warriors. So that's just another like the Legend of Zelda one they did from the guys who do.
Called Hyrule.
Yeah. So
But with characters you care less about.
Exactly.
yeah, it's it looks cool, but it's just another.
That bit where it was like you saw a piece of a character and then his sword going down, and it lasted like 5 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, I wonder what game this is gonna be.
They're really far along on that one.
Minecraft, which is no surprise really. Minecraft story mode.
Complete adventure. Gotta make
Complete.
sure.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say let's go with all that. Yeah, none of these have got dates. Is that Puyo Tetris?
Yeah.
Yep, cool.
It's gonna be good.
Um,
4-player Tetris.
Rayman Legends, which we already spoken
That's
about.
gonna be such a dick.
Rhyme.
Rhyme. When they showed that on like the like compilation video at the end, and they're like, "Oh, here's Rhyme." I'm like, "Fucking, where's my fucking PS4 Rhyme?" That is one of the games which I was looking forward to. I was like, "Man, this is basically Wind Waker, but not Zelda."
Yeah, they kind of just stopped talking about it because it was a PlayStation exclusive. Like Sony were paying for it.
Yeah.
And then apparently they were like, "This is not shaping up. We're cutting the funding. We're taking away your development kits." And
That's really interesting. Well, like basically, I was just sitting there. I was like, I'm still excited for this game. I haven't forgotten about it. When it comes out, I'll buy it. I'll play it. But I think I'll probably buy it on the Switch now. To be honest,
Yeah,
it
it's
seems like a game which is like one that I will take around with me and be like, I'll play a level of Rhyme.
I would if I didn't have Zelda, but I've got Zelda, so
Oh!
play something not Zelda.
Another Shin Megami Tensei game.
That was one which I was like, oh, Persona
So-
coming to Switch, and then I was like,
It's the not Persona series.
yeah.
Siberia 3, Steep, Project Sonic 2017,
Fuck off, man.
NBA 2K18, which is coming out in September apparently. Lego City Undercover, Sonic Mania. Apparently Sonic Mania is looking alright.
Yeah. Heard good things.
Yeah.
Tim did a let's play on it, so
Oh, okay.
said it looked good.
I Am Setsuna. And Skylanders Imaginators is the last one. These are confirmed, but some of
What
these.
about the Octavian, whatever it's called?
Octopath Traveler.
Octopath Traveler. Best name for a video game they could.
Really?
Octopath Traveler.
I mean,
Name a game right now which has got a cooler name than Octopath Traveler. I mean, literally anything else.
I mean, you put me
Octodad, Dadliest Catch.
Yeah, exactly. There you
But the
go.
fact that I was like Octopath Traveler, like they showed this game, I was like, okay, like, you know, whatever, like show this little thing. I was like, there's no fucking octopus in this at all.
It looked
Octopath.
alright. It's just the name was shit.
I mean, what exactly is it?
It's a
Just like an old school Final Fantasy turn-based role-playing game from the looks of it, like 2D like sprites and stuff. But it's just the name is what like
The path
really
isn't even
just-
made of octopus.
that could be what sells that game. It's just
I
it's
don't
got such a
think
ridiculous name.
That might not even be the final name. I don't know.
I don't know. That looked like some pretty snazzy artwork for that name.
I'm not going to go down that road, but yeah.
So, and then the really, really obvious one is obviously Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. They showed the trailer at the end, and that, well, for me, because Zelda being my favourite game franchise, that was a goosebumps moment for me. That was probably the only moment in that whole presentation where I went, oh my god.
It was alright. Like the amount that we've seen of Breath of the Wild now, there's not a single thing they could show that will get me excited. Like I can't be any more excited for a game, and it's just like stop showing it.
Zelda Breath of the Wild is like, after the first trailer and then the gameplay trailer, I was like, okay, I'm satisfied with Zelda stuff. Just give me my game when it comes out. Give me a date. That's all I care about.
The first trailer, a gameplay trailer, and then 2 days of live streaming for the game, which I literally watched every minute of that. I must have had a lot of free time, and me and Kyle was back when we lived at Callington Roadway, and we watched both of those like full length live streams.
I
just them
think,
messing around.
whilst that was good to see that game on those live streams, I think that might have been a little too
Much.
I didn't mind it, like, and I watched every bit of it,
Yeah.
because they didn't. It was a timed demo, so they couldn't wander out too far.
Yeah.
A big chunk. They only had the plateau area, like everywhere surrounding that was blocked off, and I don't think they could go into any dungeons.
Yeah.
So it was just purely like
So,
messing
I mean-
around, and if they could play it that long in that little portion of the map, like just shows how much there is. to do in
that game will sell that console to begin with, and it's the only thing that they've got at this point from their announcements. I'm glad to see it's a launch title, because there was speculation that it was going to get delayed again. But you know, I think that was a smart move, because without that, what did they have?
I mean, it's
Lots of
awesome,
little
but, like,
games, but
people that have a Wii U and are looking forward to Zelda don't really have a reason to upgrade.
Yeah. No,
So
Yeah.
they're not going to sell it.
I was gonna
to
say,
your
like,
your
like,
target audience is
Zelda-
desperate to buy it.
The new Zelda game might sell Switches to people who don't have a Wii U, but
That's
like,
what
a lot of
I'm-
people already
that's
have
what
Wii
I'm
Us.
saying.
But like people that have the Wii U are the people that you want to target, because they're the people who will obviously buy anything if you bought a Wii U.
Jesus Christ.
I bought one day one. But
Yeah.
like,
I mean,
I wasn't far behind.
now what I was gonna say is from that last trailer, the only thing that I really took away from that trailer, besides I was like, okay, cool, like Zelda's like they've actually fucking shown something of Zelda.
it was
Like,
cool to see her
that's
face,
okay.
yeah. Because
The fact that there's like actual like voice acting and stuff in it, that was the only thing which I took, which was like exciting for
the
me.
live stream for when I watched it, at least I don't know if it was Japanese voice acting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that wasn't like there's actually trailers up in different languages. You can watch that trailer with English.
Yeah.
Which I didn't know. Like
Yeah.
watching the live stream, it's like, oh, you know, the game's still a couple of months out. Like they obviously haven't got an English trailer ready. But then Calvin and Rhett wanted to see the trailer for it today, so I pulled it up on the TV and it was all in English.
Yeah.
Voiceovers. And then I saw an article.
Is that the one about Sophie Turner?
I don't know.
Because there was somebody and they're like, is Sophie Turner the voice of fucking Zelda in Legend of Zelda? And I was like, Matt's gonna be sitting in his and his pants are gonna be like unclean for the next month and a half.
Yeah, I didn't see that one though. The trailer I saw was that all of the languages will be on the disc. So if you don't want them to speak in English, you can just switch it to another language. Which I'm thinking
I am
about
going to
doing,
play
like-
Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild entirely in Spanish. I don't speak a single word of
I
Spanish.
think that's a cool way of playing it in a language.
Hon,
you
hon,
know,
hon.
because it's weird them finally talking. Like it's almost like a Banjo-Kazooie style thing where they're talking in just a language you don't
Yeah.
understand.
Yeah.
Like seeing the English trailer and the Japanese trailer, like it's cool hearing them talk in English, but I really liked how it was done in Japanese.
That's
And
what I
I'm not
think it
usually
is,
one of
yeah.
those people that's like, I only play games in the language that country was made in. Like, there are people who will play JRPGs and only play them in
Yeah.
Japanese, which is fine, but I don't really care for that. But for Zelda, I think
for
it'd
me,
be
it's
cool.
more of a personal matter of what translates better,
Which
or
doesn't
what
is
sounds
not
better.
usually a problem in games. I understand that in like anime and things, definitely, but games it's not usually the case.
Oh
but-
yeah, Final Fantasy for me, was like Japanese.
I haven't decided. I've not played enough of Final Fantasy yet to make a decision either way.
So
I know a lot of people played 15 with the Japanese audio track on. I'm like, that's fine.
It's gonna translate well in no matter what language. Can you just imagine like fucking Link walking into him and be like, "Hola, Senor Ganondorf."
That's the other thing. Link actually talks.
I was just about to
because he
say
didn't
there was
say
no
anything.
proven thing that he was talking, and
I
I
mean,
think I don't.
That'll be my decider.
I don't think he will
I'm
because
hoping
Nintendo's been really adamant about Link, even though he's called Link. It's meant to be you. You know what I mean?
He's
That's the whole
talked
point.
in every other game.
Oh well, not that you know.
And he has had voice acting. We all seen it. We've all seen the CDI game.
I've never seen it. I'm good, thank you. I've heard about it.
don't
That's enough.
exist.
That's
they
what
don't
it'd be great.
exist.
They've got this like perfect voice acting for everything. It's like, "Hey, a princess."
It'd be funny if one of the you go to the options and
it's like
CDI. CDI English. It's like, oh,
Would you,
no.
would you like to hear Link sound like the Link out of the Wand of Gamelon?
That would If that would sell copies of Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. Can you imagine people day one? They'd be like, "So I was looking through the like language settings. and look what I found."
I want 10 copies. I want them on all different TVs in different languages
simultaneously.
simultaneously. So we won't go too much into Zelda because we will cover that when it comes out.
Well, that's the only game I'm buying at launch. So when we
Yeah,
have a
that's-
Switch, that's all we're gonna talk
I was
about.
going to say
That week would be like, "Oh, we're podcast. Oh, it's finished."
So
Like we have Switches and Wii U's in the house. All of those consoles will be turned on and playing Breath of the Wild.
Yeah.
Like Kyle brought up today is like, so you know, what he wanted to know what TV I'll be playing the Switch on. I said more often than not, I'll probably be playing it in like handheld mode. And he's like, cool. So like if I grab Breath of the Wild on the Wii U, I can just use your Wii U and play Breath of the Wild. I'm like, sure.
And that's awesome that like Zelda does that. It gets people buying things and they're like, "I don't even have the fucking." Like, that's what I did. I haven't even pre-ordered the console yet, but I'm like, I'm gonna fucking pre-order my copy. I want to get that limited edition on the like Switch. Like,
Yeah. No, that's.
I mean,
It's
actually speaking
we're a
of
sucker for throwing our wallets at fucking Nintendo.
Spe-
That's pretty much that's the best way to sum up the Switch presentation.
I'm not.
Speaking of the limited edition one, I'm glad I'm happy. I'm hoping Matt's wrong on what he's saying, and that was a prototype. But the Master Sword little statue looked very flexible, apparently, in the thing that he's seen. So
It didn't have
it
any
didn't-
detail to it. The stand looked really crappy,
So-
and it had like this little flower thing.
And I'm
next to
also
it.
really disappointed that we're not getting the
The main reason
Sheikah
I wanted-
slate cover thing.
The main
for
reason I wanted to pre-order that was to get the case, because I'd be like, oh sweet, you get a case for your Wii U. Like, I was going to buy one of those anyway. Get one for free with my Zelda game. Hell yeah.
I don't get me wrong, I like getting the soundtrack CDs for those games because I do like the music, but it's like, you know, the Sheikah slate thing was the big thing, and you know, it was put on EB Games website with it on there, and then the next day they obviously made a mistake and put the wrong thing up, and then it was gone. It was like, oh.
But even the map, I thought it was going to be like a nice cloth map, like the one that comes with...
It's a poster. It's a rolled up poster, isn't it?
Yeah, because you get a cloth map with the Skyward Sword guidebook. It's like a really nice cloth map
Oh,
that you
yeah.
can pin up. So that's what I thought this was going to be, and yeah, it just looks like a cardboard
The way
poster.
they explained it, like, I was
Apparently
looking,
it
I was
has a
reading through
texture to it.
and it's like they mentioned like 4 different textures. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck. It was like it's got a wooden crafted style on a hand-worn cloth
did you notice
mat, which is made of and I'm like, what the fuck is this mat made
Yeah,
of?
but-
Have you just like grabbed every fucking, like, they're like, oh, let's put a bit of wood in there,
did you
let's get
see-
some cloth, let's wrap it in that, let's
I think
put
it was-
tissues on there.
I think it was on the EB Games description. It was like going through the list of things that was going to be in the pack, and it wasn't just a map; it was a rolled map.
Yeah.
It's like that's not a selling point.
It doesn't
I can
unroll, by
roll
the
the
way.
map myself. I don't pre-rolled maps. That sold it for me. Like,
Oh.
no.
I don't buy maps unless they're pre-rolls.
So, but no. I'm glad.
Quality, damn it.
I'm glad there's that. I mean, the other thing is the Matt brought up before the accessories for the Switch are expensive. I like the fact that you get different coloured Joy-Cons. That's cool.
Surprised that it was day one. I expected, down the track they'll release those in different colours. That'll be called day one. It's like, god damn, I do want a blue one.
But then they're like, the way it's like, oh, you want red and blue, and it's like, I'd like just all blue, please.
Yeah, so you have the option
You can buy.
of it's the black separately in left and right. You can buy like individually, and then packs of the doubles for blue, doubles for red,
Or
and
the
then the double of red and blue in the opposite way. So that if you
Oh,
got
okay.
the
So is that the opposite way that?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I saw it, and I thought I saw it as like the exact same. I'm like, what?
the left and right with the console and left. I'm pretty sure it's the opposite. So that if you got
Okay.
the coloured console, you then get the opposites to line them up.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
That's
I didn't
good.
notice that.
They at least thought about that far, unless I'm completely wrong, in which case, Jesus Christ, what were they thinking? But I looked at it today, and I'm pretty sure that's the case.
They briefly touched on their online system. They didn't really go into a huge amount of detail,
Except that they're gonna make us pay for it as soon as some online games come out. Hey,
I
online's
did-
free while there's nothing to play.
I did know. Well, the other catch is like I don't know if we're getting online on launch because at the moment it only lists like the US, Mexico, and Canada, and Japan. Like it doesn't mention Europe or anything else. So I don't even know if we're gonna have the online system up and running when the release happens. But
It's alright.
And
Both
in-
launch titles aren't on.
Like,
No.
let's be honest. Like, we're all mostly gonna be playing LAN anyway. With
oh,
each
it will
other,
be
so-
it will be. And I was watching something earlier today, and it's like I guess that's the point is that you know we play online with PS4, Xbox One, etc. Nintendo aren't known for that for their gameplay, so I don't know if it's a. I mean, they should probably get to that point with.
Well, it looks like they are. Even ARMS is going to have online.
Yeah.
It's just nice to know that because it's Nintendo, a lot of their games will support LAN.
Yeah.
And a lot of developers on PS4 and Xbox One don't bother with that anymore because nobody uses it. But on the Switch, because it's a handheld console, they need to have LAN.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's going to be
And
cool
that
that we
is
can
the
play
cool
Mario
thing.
Kart
The way they
multiplayer
have
and-
marketed is they never market it as like, here's you get a console, you're going to be playing online with all your friends. It's like, oh, how's everyone bringing their Switches around to each other's houses and hanging out? Like, that's cool. And I think like you need that sense of community. Like,
Yeah.
We're just going to play so much Mario Kart and
So
stuff like
yeah.
that. It's going to be fun. That
Well-
new battle mode looks fucking awesome.
Yeah, it does
Yeah.
look good.
It's been a long time since I played Mario Kart multiplayer.
And that was the thing, like, cause yeah, like I was watching you watch the video, like the Treehouse video of them playing the battle mode, and I was like, oh man, like why didn't we ever play the battle mode on it? And you're like, oh, well, it didn't exist, and I'm like, need me my battle modes. Like,
Yeah,
So-
they've got a lot of classic levels in there, like the Luigi's
Yeah,
Mansion one.
That's cool. Yeah, I did see that. It's good. And I think that's a smart move. And like you said, there's not a big gap between the launch and that coming out. So, you know, people will be playing Zelda and then it's not that far away. I mean, I'd like to see them announce a few more bits and pieces to come out between now and then, but who knows? So yeah, no, we'll do a lot more coverage when it comes out. Hopefully we'll be able to unbox it and go through the actual bits and pieces, and
There's a lot that comes in the box.
and probably do a bit of a first look at Breath of the Wild, and
Well,
that's going to be a big week.
it'll be a big one. Nah, it'll be good stuff.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Everyone's-
I'm looking forward to it. No, it's really not that far off. We're just over. Well, we're halfway
7
through
weeks.
January, which is crazy.
Yeah,
About
and
7
that being said though, just quickly to note this off, there isn't really a huge amount this year, which is to get excited for in games. I mean, there is probably there's
Yeah,
probably
I mean,
things
we're
that I've
still
forgotten
waiting
about all around the
for
place.
E3, but I assume State of Decay will be this year, which is nice, and
Yeah,
we're gonna see gameplay for that at E3, which is gonna be so good.
I am. Oof.
And then Mass Effect later in the year, which will
Yeah.
be big. I'm looking forward to that. I'm not crazy into Mass Effect. I enjoy the series fine enough. I like those games, and I loved the third one.
It would just be one of those games. Just okay, cool, it's out.
Yeah, it's come out, and I'll pick it up, and I'm
It's
sure
kind of
I'll enjoy it.
like Battlefield 1 was that kind of game for me last year. I was
It's
like,
alright.
I'm not really
excited
pumped for
enough
this
for
game
the
to come
both,
out.
so it's fine.
Well, the nice thing about that is it looks like it's going to be an amazing game from the first one. The problem with Mass Effect 1 is I found it hard to commit to 2 and 3 when I didn't play the first one. So I was just missing
So
a
you
lot.
should have played the first one then.
I just
man.
couldn't do it.
You should have
I
played it.
tried
Should have played it.
5 times. I couldn't do it.
We just all know that Matt doesn't play crap games.
Fighting
It's
words,
pretty
fighting
torn.
words, guys.
People liking and then disliking the first one. It's not like the vast majority
I-
liked Mass Effect 1. It's
I was going to
pretty
say, I've talked to quite a lot of people who play Mass Effect, and they're like, we played the first one, but I'm not going to say we liked it.
I mean, there's a reason they gave
Yeah.
people who played the second one that little
The
intro
only
thing to
reason
make
why
your
the
choices.
first one was good was because of the second and third one, because it's that one that sets you up for the second and third one.
Yeah.
Because the character, I won't go into too much detail, but the character didn't really have much of a personality up until the second one.
Yeah. I think I played the third one first, and I played the first one once, I didn't like it. So then I played the third one on the Wii U. It was like a launch title for the Wii U, so I picked it up. And it had the motion comics for 1 and 2.
Yeah.
So I played through those, and then into the third one and played the shit out of it. And then I was like, alright, maybe I should play 2. So I went back from 3 to then playing 2 and really enjoyed that. And then from there, I'm like, okay, I'm going to give 1 another shot. I did that a couple of times and just couldn't do it. So then I played a little bit more.
It's a
of 2 and
commitment.
then
It's a commitment
went
thing,
into
man.
3.
You just got to be committed.
I just completely
It is the worst one out of all of them. but
ruined
still,
how I
you-
meant
you-
to play that series though. Completely.
Anyway, we're getting off topic.
it was a launch title for the Wii U, so it counts.
As you were talking, then you were talking to the bananas. I looked over and you intently the bananas were just thoroughly interested in what you talk about Mass Effect.
I mean,
Sean looked at me and I just lost it.
Because all it is, he was like looking at you talking, and then I was like, oh yeah, he's getting really into Mass Effect, and then all of a sudden, Beazley is just I don't know, he's like,
well,
That was such
I-
the intensity of talking to these bananas.
I am British, so we have a habit of talking to inert objects.
Exactly.
So,
I was just thinking that. Go to the skull.
Twas a good game, Mass Effect. Oh, bananas.
I
We knew you
I
well.
didn't realize until that, but now looking back on that,
Essentially.
he was like, he's like, yeah, your character didn't really have, and then he looked at the banana, he's like, personality.
Not like you, my yellow fin
I was
friend.
so tempted to just get up and go, right, you need some private time.
I feel
The
genuinely
next
uncomfortable.
40 minutes of this is going to be just Curtis talking with bananas.
I mean,
Switchin bananas. What more do you need?
So that's probably a good topic. Have you have you ever had a situation where you've been fucking having a full conversation with somebody, or think that you're talking to somebody, or think somebody's talking to you, and then it's just been you've been so fucking wrong the entire time?
Yes. Yes.
No.
You've never had that.
Where somebody's talking to me and I wasn't listening, you mean?
No. So somebody was talking to you, you think somebody's talking to you, but it turns out they're fucking talking to their bananas, or you're talking to somebody and then they think that you're fucking talking to somebody.
I've been in the situation, which you guys are going to know as soon as I reference it. It's not that I've been talking to someone and they're not listening to me. It's the fact that someone's been talking to me and I've tuned out, and Matt knows what I'm talking about.
That just drives me up the fucking wall. But it's not just you that, a lot of people do it where I'm talking to somebody and they're just like, what? And I'm like,
No,
you're fucking kidding me.
This was a
I
situation.
would never do it. If somebody somebody could be talking to me on the other side of the fucking house, and I'll hear them.
I'll still hear
That's
them.
like when you were having a conversation with Kyle, and then you came in to tell me about the conversation you had with Kyle.
Yeah.
I'm like, Beazley, I'm just down the hall. Like, I heard it. I listened to people.
This situation was ages ago. Kyle was sitting there trying to tell me about Star Trek. You right there, Riku? You having fun? So talking about Star Trek, and he was going into such detail. Like, I was sitting on the couch, and he was sitting there, and then Matt was like sitting behind Kyle, and Matt had gotten the point of view that I had completely tuned out. Like, I just could, but Kyle didn't get that I tuned out. But by the end of the conversation, and he's like, "You didn't listen to anything I just said," because Matt's like burst into laughter in the background.
Yeah, I remember this
But
conversation.
he just, and it was one of those situations in which, he thought I was listening and I wasn't, and it was just it was surreal that something he knew that I can't believe.
Showed no
before.
interest into, and
I don't like Star Trek. Like, I just never have. I'm sorry. Oops. But yeah, no.
I can agree. Like, I've never been like
Star Trek sucks.
Ooh,
Outside
that's
of the
it.
movies,
Oh,
obviously.
look what
you guys are
Looks
just
beautiful.
you're starting.
now Diversion straight and entertaining does not.
Oh
I
my
mean-
god.
What an interesting diversion. Oh shit, I fucked it up. But yeah, no, like that is a common thing where it's like I've had it so fucking many. Like when people are on the phone, that's the worst thing. When you can't see the phone and somebody's talking about, "Oh, hey, how are you?" and you're like, "Who the fuck are you? I don't know who you are." I'm okay, thank you. And then they just look at you and they're like, "What the fuck are you doing?" Yeah.
So here's legitimately how I deal with this situation. I just ignore them. So if somebody waves to me and I think they've waved at me, but I'm not sure, if somebody says hi to me and I think maybe they've said hi to me, I just ignore them. I look away.
I suppose it's
I
less.
pay no attention to them. So if they are actually talking to me,
if-
they
if-
just
if-
think I'm
yeah.
a prick.
But
But
if
if
they-
not,
if they are talking to you or are eager to talk to you or have any interest in talking to you, they will then go up to you and say, "Hey, I said hello." They'll push the fact. If they're not,
Maybe, or they're just like, "Oh, fuck that
The
asshole."
vibe I'm getting is like that's like the vibe I'm getting is
Ignorant
that's basically, you basically just said I'd rather look like an arsehole than a fucking idiot.
Exactly.
I think that's most of our
But
most of our world
but
leaders right there. I mean,
I have to agree with Matt. I'd rather do that than be in the awkward situation where it's like, and I'm
That looks like a fucktard.
I'm the worst person for doing that too. I actually do that a lot. But anyway, yeah, I'd rather not be in that circumstance where it's like, no, I wasn't talking to you. Because it's just really awkward. Like, it's like, oh, well, sorry. Like, you just start sweating. Oh, sorry. But yeah, no.
It's one of those. It's one of those things though. But because maybe it's just that inner dilemma I have where it's like I just need to be liked by everybody. Where I'm like, yeah, I'm good, thanks. How are you? And then they're like, oh, I wasn't talking to you, and you're like, oh no, it's cool. And then I'll cry myself to sleep that night. But like,
You attention seeking.
it's got even worse with like fucking like the like earphones which have got the fucking mic in them. They're the worst because it's like.
Yeah, but then
The people would be saying, and like obviously, like you'd look them directly in the eyes, and they're like, "Oh, hey, how's it going?" And I'm like,
it's one of those weird situations where you either think they're talking to you or you think they've lost their fucking mind because you can't see what, and it looks like they're talking to themselves.
exactly. I
And
mean,
then you're just like,
I'm
gonna go this way now.
strangely enough, dude, if I'm walking down a path and there are people walking towards me, I'll casually just kind of move my arm in the general direction of that button and pause it, so that as I'm walking by them, if somebody says something, then I can hear them. And then I'll press play before I go on, considering I don't give a shit.
I mean,
about
you still
people and,
ignore
like,
them because you don't want to have that.
Exactly.
awkward thing.
I'm not gonna then say hello to them. Like, I don't want to fucking bar of what they're doing.
See,
but-
you just want to know it. See, that's even worse than mine. You're like, I want to know that people are acknowledging me so I can fucking ignore them. Fuck
So you're
people.
intentionally going out to be an asshole by doing that then.
Well,
So you're like,
no,
right, I've
because-
decided I'm going to be an asshole and
I
listen
just-
to them, but they don't think I'm listening. And then watch the disappointment on their face when they've been ignored.
Sorta. The difference is that
kind of explains why Maddie wears baggy pants.
No, please, no. Actually, finish this, guys.
Self-pleasuring. at the ford, ignoring someone.
Right. No connection there whatsoever. Matt ignoring people is the reason why he wears baggy pants. Like,
Audience at home, did you guess? Please leave a comment and tell me. I thought it was quite obvious.
he's not jacking it off as he's fucking walking along.
That's what he does. Like,
The way you guys are explaining it sounds like he takes
Please
a lot of
talk to
pleasure.
me. It helps me get
a lot
off.
of pleasure in this. I mean, some people do. Some people like the fact that the idea of someone like taking the time to be like, "Hey Matt, how you going?" And Matt being like, "That's right, you acknowledged me, you fucking shit." And then just going to town.
So my next question
I don't want to not know that I was being an asshole. Like, if I've ignored them, I need to know that they know.
So my next question is, if we're going down
that you acknowledge the fact that you haven't
demon,
acknowledged
if we're going
Let's
down
leave it at
this
that.
path, right? Let's say we're traveling down that path. So if
sick,
they
sick
acknowledge
man.
you and you have to get into that conversation, is that flaccid? Is that just what happens? It's completely the other way. Is this what this is? Is this what this is?
This segment has turned into sexual.
Oh, you ruined the moment for
It's
me.
not even the fact that they weren't talking to him. It's just like he'll stay flaccid. They'll be like, oh hey, and then he'll still be, and then the second that they do the fact that he didn't acknowledge them, he's just fucking.
It's like,
Well, we've got a new category for Pornhub.
oh wait, yeah.
being ignored.
If this fails, we know what videos we're making next.
It's the kind of thing where he just goes and he goes out his way to find people to ignore, and then it just that one person just knows let they go. He's like, it's getting hard all day, and then it's just this one guy's like, hey Matt, and he's like ignoring him, and the guy like, hey Matt, and he's like, you fucking mind?
That's why it takes
my
me so long
private
to walk
time.
home. I've got to take all these alternate routes to try and walk past people.
He sometimes just nudges into people. So,
Oh, so that's what
you
you're doing when you wander out the backyard, wander around the house. Right, okay. So we've gone from
You get turned on by the neglect that fucking Riku does for you
we've gone
every
from
time.
family-friendly Nintendo to Matt jacking it over the fact that someone is not or talking
I
to
don't
him.
know
Okay.
why this conversation took such a turn.
You started it! Baggy pants!
I left it at baggy pants. I left it. You guys took
You
it.
tried to leave it. No, but
How can you leave it at baggy pants? We're going, what the fuck does baggy pants
He
have
wanted
to
to
do?
leave it up to people's imaginations.
Exactly.
You had
Like-
to ask the
Oh, we
question.
want details.
because that question wouldn't be fucking.
Personally, I don't imagine Matt jacking off. I mean, that's just something I don't think about day-to-day
lie to us.
basis. I'm not lying.
You think
like,
about
sorry.
the thought of him jacking off in his baggy pants, though. You think
I
he'd be
mean-
fucking
I
one
mean-
hand turn the music off, other
Haven't-
hand straight into the
haven't
fucking
we-
undies?
Haven't we all jacked off into baggy pants?
No!
No?
Quite honestly with you. I tried to take my pants off before masturbating, Curtis.
I
I'm
mean,
sorry.
you should
Is that so strange of me?
You should really try. I mean, it's liberating.
Without
Sean is just one for taking his pants off for everything. Like,
I
when he
know,
needs
right?
to go to the urinal,
Fucking
he's
go,
just
like,
like,
fucking-
pants fully.
Sir, would you like
Like that 3-year-old who uses a big boy's toilet.
Sir, would you like fries with that or veg? Like, fucking don't know. Give me a second. I'll just take my pants off right now.
A bit
Hard
right.
decisions.
His pants are off right now, you wouldn't even know.
A good story, and this is my sister's favourite story of me. It's probably not something I should be showing on the internet, but who gives a fuck? The saying about, like, you know how kids, like, you know, they fucking just dack straight down when they're taking a piss in the urinal.
Yep.
So, when I was a kid, because, like, I was told, like, boys go to the toilet standing up, and I was like, alright. So
Yeah,
then I was
apparently.
like, yeah. So I went to the toilet, and I was like, really need to go to the bathroom. And then, so what I thought is that, like, boys need to go to the toilet standing up. So I'm standing there taking a piss in the toilet, and because I thought you had to do everything standing up. So
Where's this going?
So
I'm curious. Like, let's.
I
Like,
can't remember if it was
podcast
my
cancelled.
sister
2
or-
shows.
I can't remember if it was my sister or my mum. They're like, yeah, we just walk in and you're just standing there, shit half coming out your ass, taking a piss in the toilet. Because I was like, you gotta fucking be literal with children.
Unless you've got some sort of sickness, it doesn't projectile across the room.
Yeah, but I didn't know. So I was like, no, because boys pee standing out. So I was like, I'll take my piss. And then I was like, oh man, I gotta shit at the same time. Fucking better bake this quick and easy to get over.
Did you at least hover towards the
sad-
toilet?
the sad
Like,
thing-
It's not like I just fucking. It's not like I stood as far back as possible from the loo.
the sad-
Started taking a piss, and then I was like, oh shit, better run over. It's past the baton.
see, the thing is, that's not entirely like fault. I mean, I actually knew a kid that did that.
See, no, but he was
For many years, in fact.
He still doesn't know. He did it once, but it was a urinal.
It's not like it was something I constantly did. It was just like I was told. Boys
This-
do the toilet standing up.
He
Go to
shit
the
in a
toilet.
urinal.
Well, he thought that the urinal was also for shitting. He thought that it was so. He
Drifting down.
I assume he was like, it was. I mean, we were in primary school, and it was like, we must be in year 1, but it's first year 1, and yeah, no, he basically decided to pull his pants down all the way to his knee, as you do as a kid, and like peeing in the urinal all there. And the next thing I know is like, something smells a bit odd. I looked to the side, and he's literally just shit in his pants, like just fold into his like underwear, like.
See, he didn't get that far. I was just like sprouting a tail a little bit, and then I managed to turn it
No,
around.
he completely shat his pants. Like,
But that's an impressive way of shitting your pants.
like he did.
My
And,
pants
and the
were
thing
at
is, me, I'm just like a guy.
going
I was literally like, well, man, that's new. That's not something I'm used to. I wasn't the only one in there. That was
I would
legit-
laugh.
The first thing I hear is like,
What the hell? I wish that this was like just
20 guys, just like, what?
I was gonna
the
say,
shit?
I wish this was just after you came to Australia.
I was gonna say,
Like, can you
that
imagine if that was
sounds
like
like
the first time you go to the
we're
toilet
from
in
different
Australia,
cultures.
and the kid next to you, you're like, oh, go, alright, take his pants and his ankles, it's fine. Like, that's what people in Australia do. Just fucking, oh my goodness, the culture here is shot. Did you guys not sit down?
I mean, this was the UK. I can see your point. It was all my. I'm sorry, gently, but it seems that you've shat your pants. Oh, jolly good.
Absolute savages, I tell you.
Barbarian. In Australia, it'd be like, mate, it looks like you shat your daiquiris, you fucking idiot.
Oh well.
I mean,
That's what the pants are for. That's why we don't take them the entire way off. You got to catch them with something. Actually, it kind of reminds me. I can't remember who was like. I heard this story a while ago. I can't remember if it was a friend of a friend or I fucking heard of something. But there was somebody, and they said that like people told them about like using like going to the toilet when you're in the shower, and they're like, all right, fucking everything gets done.
Oh no.
That's something which I'm like, I can't fathom that. I was like, even as a kid, I'm like, hey, milk boy, that's a clean place. I ain't fucking dirtying that up.
Yeah. No.
But yeah, obviously, like, so end of the story. Parents, like, I think it was my sister or fucking whatever found me, and they're like, dude, no. It was a one-off thing, just a PSA. Fucking tell your kids literally how things work. Don't just fucking half explain. Be like, yeah, boys go to the toilet.
Kids are intelligent. They
Are you serious?
They understand.
They have Snapchat these
obviously
days. They
not.
learn these things.
But he wasn't, like he says, he wasn't told directly. If he was told directly, things might be
Exactly. If I was told you go pee pee standing up, but if you're taking a shit, everything's sitting down. Like, not half and half.
Yeah,
not
but
like,
no,
oh,
but no,
it's a
based on
timer.
that fact, you need to say you're sitting on the toilet because you could just go sit down on a fucking dining chair.
I was taught where to do it. Okay, it wasn't the fact that I was never potty trained. I was just like, all right, in the garden with Sean, go fucking do your business.
Sounds about right.
Gardening with Sean.
They needed fertilizer anyway. So.
Yeah, the garden looked good that year.
Man, our crops aren't looking good this winter. We need fertilization. We just had children. I've got the greatest idea ever. Let's leave them out there for half an hour.
Cheap
Let them
labour.
Cheap labour.
Oh, God.
Well,
Yeah, that's probably my most embarrassing story when I was a child. And what a lovely note to end this podcast. Alrighty, usual, like, subscribe, comment, all that shit.
make sure you
Literally,
get in and
literally
go
shit.
first.
Yes, remember, you pee and poo sitting down.
If you take anything
I mean-
away from this,
I mean, sometimes it's just better to play it safe and just pee or poo sitting down altogether.
I'm really lazy, so that's what I do.
Yeah. I mean,
Half asleep, you just like walk straight to your toilet. Like,
You've got to do that if you're half
mean,
asleep.
yeah,
Like,
I
come
mean,
on.
and also, as a teenager, especially as a young man, waking up in the morning and half cocked, it's
Exactly.
like, you've got to sit down, bro. Otherwise, you just...
That's the most painful. I can understand where you're coming from. It's the most painful experience ever. Where you're like,
You
yeah.
don't-
Not
you don't-
actually.
on an
That
end-
doesn't
on an
work
end-
sitting down.
On,
though.
on an
Yeah, exactly. That's worse sitting down.
It's
on an
worse
end,
sitting
no.
down.
Because sitting
yeah.
down, you've got that elevation of your legs, so everything's pointing directly at your face.
You're just like, fucking
oh my god.
on an end
Whenever you need to take
on
a
an
piss,
end
you just
note, ladies and gentlemen, to all the adolescent males out there, always sit down when you want to pee with a hard on.
Why
Because
does-
trust
Unless
me,
it's
why do they-
because trust me, it is not fun. Half asleep and you get a golden shower waking up.
And
Seriously, take it from me.
and also, to my nan who said she's gonna watch these, I am so fucking sorry.
Oh my god, no! This is brilliant. This is great.
The Switch comes out on March 3rd.
That's a perfect way to
Catch you next time.
Not the shit. That'll be it.